hopefully Hobbit can show that here today.
It would be damn impressive if he could against G2. We're heading into this one. It is a bit of an AWP's paradise, so I'm looking forward to seeing Shiro on this one. We've seen it, the AWP kind of tossed around a lot of players over here for G2. Jack's picking it up in the previous map a little bit. Definitely more of a turret-style AWPer. But G2 versus Gambit, you can see the 1x bet odds at the top of your screen. But immediately, there's a group-up play for Gambit starting on this T side. Going to be walking their way through the brown holes. Smoke and a Molotov for Nafny. A flash available for Hobbit. Simple lower take seems to be coming in, Hawker.
Nexa's got a nade at the ready. If he times this right, there are two players without Kevlar. In goes the nade. Not that much damage done, though, before the push.
Yeah, we'll smoke up in Nex's face. He's held back behind it, and they're just looking for a couple of these fights. Yet to draw blood, yet to get the first kill for either of these sides. And Inter's in the middle of the bomb train. Pressure's certainly on. Fights all over the site going in, but Nexa finally getting first blood. Nafny walks through the smoke, doesn't see Nexa on the elevated position, and his trades back and forth, but Nico grabs the advantage for a short while before Shiro swings out for the double peek on the P250. A 3v3 again as G2 start to make their way through post-plant positions. Are pretty solid for Gambit, but they're trying to get another kill to be a bit more comfortable, and G2 are winning those fights up until this point. Shiro and Hobbit bouncing back into it, and with that time ticking on, Shiro's done so much, and Hobbit from upper could have just hidden away, but instead lands the final blow to the head of Jax.
Happy to fight, and who can blame them? Gambit coming through with a nice pistol round. Extended fights on the B site, but that man Shiro comes in with the P250 and makes the most of that weapon. And I said in the pregame, Dinko, I was talking about Hobbit stats on this map with the 1.38 rating, but you are right. This is obviously a map AWPers love. Shiro's not far behind with a 1.35 rating on Train in the last 6 months. So basically, this is just a great map for Gambit, and it makes sense as to why they pick it.
It certainly does. A puzzle again for G2 to try and figure out. And Jax, he's got the Deagle this time. All of G2 have Deagles right now. A little bit of utility available to be sprinkled across the team. Trying for the Pop Dog fight early, but it's Axel running out with a MAC-10. It's been stopped early on into the round. Enters atop the blue train, finds himself the trade kill into Calm, but the push is forward from the pistols. Not really working out now as Gambit, they've drawn it back into the 3v3. And Hobbit finding Nico definitely turns things in Gambit's favor. But look at the push from Hunter. Straight up Ivy. He could get in behind them. Hobbit's definitely aware of this. In fact, they are dropping back, and Hunter's not going to be ready for Shiro. Just looking at him right now. He's going to take his time. He has to be careful. The timing needs to work out perfectly, and it has so far for Hunter. He's using the cover wall. He hears the footsteps of Shiro. He goes for the timing. That's the bomb dropped, and Hunter nearly getting a chance onto the second player who can quite double up. So now it is all on Nexa. 1v2. Low HP on Hobbit. Nafny's been tickled down to 77 as well. So this Deagle certainly has a bite. We'll see if he can win the round off of it.
Ooh, shots to the body, and Hobbit so low on health at the end that he just about survives on a slither of health. I was just biting my breath there, waiting for that fight to come against him, but Hobbit stands strong on top of the train. Gambit makes sure to stay compact enough in that 2v1. That's all they needed to do, set up that trade kill, and even though it comes close, Hobbit has indeed showed up early on Train. 6 kills to his name, and he puts G2 back down to a low buy.
Yeah, I'm so glad you highlighted that coming into this, Hawker, because it couldn't have been a more perfect start for you to highlight your stats, right? 6-0 start for Hobbit. Fantastic for Gambit in the first 2 rounds. And now we head into round number 3. It should be an easy time of things for everybody else. Maybe some time for Axel to pad his stats with a MAC-10. Shiro getting the HE grenade kill to start things off. It is just these squishy pistols. We've got no armor right now over for G2. And Gambit just walking around trying to find what map control is available, figure out where these G2 players are playing from, and Nico has alerted them to his position with a headshot kill on Inters. Amanex being plucked out of the round, but Nico is still alive and causing problems with the default pistol. Finally, drawn out of the round, and Hunter and Nexa, 2v4. Deagle in the hands of Hunter. USP for Nexa though, so they're gonna have to try and go for a gimmicky play, and this boost could work for something, Hawker, but Axel, he's ready for it, but not ready for that peek at the right time. Hunter hits the headshot.
I love how we get the X-ray off there, because you see just how quick Hunter is, emerging up, landing the headshot. They're trying to rotate into the back lines, but this should have been heard. Already seeing the information spotted by Hobbit. G2 stopped in their tracks. Gambit have got this round win effectively confirmed. See if there are any kills or any guns that G2 can try and sneak away with.
Molly stopping them from walking into the site. Good stuff there from Gambit. Good read. You don't want to give anything away. You don't want to give them a slither of a chance to get a better weapon here. And Shiro falls back into a better position so that he won't die to the bomb blast. And he picks Nexa out of the round as well. Hunter backs away with his 1 kill on the Deagle. It was a nice shot landed, but he goes down to the bomb as well. Money is in the bank now for G2 Hawker.
This is where we get that buy. And going into...
see this.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see how quick this was. This must have been lightning fast. And yeah, just immediately stays crouched, finds the headshot.
Nice awareness that he stayed crouched for that split second too, because he knew there was a chance a fight could come at him. And he was ready for that fight, which is good to see. Here comes that AWP of Amanek, though. Yet to frag in this game so far. Now that he's got the big green gun on his hands, he'll be looking to change that.
And yeah, there is... Oh, he nearly got plucked out of the round by the wall bang early on. That would have been a pretty bad start for Amanek. The worst start possible. You hype him up and immediately out of the round. But luckily, survives by a fraction. And yeah, it does open up that conversation again, right, about Amanek picking up the AWP much more for G2. And he's got to deal with Shiro on this map. Nafny running deep into the B site. They've got so much control here, Gambit. With the passive setup right now from Nexa and Amanek, they give up so much of the site.
Yeah, they've just conceded the bomb plant. Nexa could do with an early kill, and that nade should get it. It's actually Nico's nade that lands first, but it is the man advantage that G2 wanted for the retake.
Yeah, Nico stealing it away, but look at Axel. He's trying to get the flank, he's trying to get the lurk, but Hunter, he stayed there. He's waited for that moment, and Axel's been brought out. And now it is going to be a 4v3 with Gambit down in the post plant. G2, they may have the man advantage, but they've still got to move forward, and Nexa is going to do exactly that. Nafny dropped Nico, hitting the headshot on Hobbit, and now it is all onto the Clutch King, Shiro. The time is ticking. He can delay them from getting onto the site. He's hit one, and there's no time. Shiro wins it out, and just not enough time to get back into the site there for G2. It's Gambit up 4-0. 2 players survived for G2, but they could have done with a round win early.
Do we count that as a 1v4 for the old Shiro clutch stats? I mean, technically...
I don't know, Hawker. It's on the border, isn't it?
Well, they'll take it. Gambit just wasting so much time towards the end there. Even though G2 were aware of the flank, they just give up that B site so early on that is always going to be an issue. The time running so low. It has cost Gambit dearly, though. They have to go for a full reinvestment on their side. So it's not terrible for G2. They can continue to buy themselves with their saved guns. It just means that they really want to set up this round win, and Jax is so low from that molly.
Yeah, it's been chunked down very early on indeed. 12 HP left for Jax. Walk out from Hobbit would mean death, as Amanek is holding the upper position. Enters. Jiggling for some information into T-Con. G2 this time, leaving Nexa much deeper into the B site. Nico getting a more advanced position outside of T-Con, just deep and close to Olaf. He'll start to drop back a little bit. And G2 are quite active on the CT side right now, changing their positions up, and Amanek dropping back into the B site. Jax now going for a bit of an aggressive play, but it's Hobbit that's been found. The aggressive play from Jax found by Axel, but the trade was always coming in from Hunter.
Flash just got popped into the A site, so Nico should be aware players could be here, but the molly forces him up. They know he's trapped on that ladder. He has to be there, and Inters is closing in.
Boy, quick kill from Inters comes in indeed, and now Shiro looking for the connector play. He's going to throw Molotov deep into the site. Again, G2, they have the advantage in this scenario. 27 seconds to figure out here for Gambit. How do they get to the site? How are they going to get this bomb planted safely? And the call is to smoke off Ivy, and they get the kill. Hunter tried to peek before the smoke bloomed and ended up just dying. And that has given away the man advantage. And now back into the 2v2. Bomb planted for default. Shiro close by. Amanek's got his open connector, and Inter's just getting a good position at hell as Shiro looking for the fight. Finds Nexa first, and Amanek, he's on the search. The 1v2 with the AWP in this situation. No kit, no utility. I do not envy Amanek right now.
Dropping down, he makes noise in the process. Oh, up over the top of the ladder for the first one. But how is he going to predict Intez's position? The flank is going to be too hard. He moves off the bomb. Intez peeks it. He knows he's safe, and he knows he's won the round by time. Once again, Gambit play the post plant well, and even though Amanek gets away with the AWP, G2 are really searching for a round win here. And he barely got away with that AWP, Dinko. That was close there.
Yeah, he did.
I said it confidently, and then I was like, oh.
Yeah, he kind of nearly made a liar out of you. But yeah, I mean, that was a 3v2 for G2, right? And it's just that peek from Hunter. I mean, you can definitely see the idea. You want to try and catch the players just before the smoke blooms. You've still got that man advantage. You think if you take that risk, you get that kill down into the middle of the site, it does give you another further advantage into the retake. It is then a 3v1, and you can just converge on the planter, but couldn't find a pick, and well played from Gambit again, up 5-0. And G2, they've got to feel like they probably should have had a few rounds now on the board.
This game is still teetering on a knife's edge, though. If they win this, they still reset Gambit.
And while Inter's running deep in, Nexa quick on the MP9, and they dive deep into this B site. Is Nexa playing from Summit, gets a second kill on the MP9. He's doing work with the weakest weapon in play, and he's going to go and try and follow up. Weak guns can do big things, and it's a follow-up. That's the bomb dropped onto the floor, and everything is working out for G2. What a round from Nexa, holding on with the MP9, and the rest of the cavalry arrive.
Perfectly played on the B bomb site with the MP9, dancing around the angles initially, but we always say that B site anchor on Train, his main job is just to stay alive as long as possible. Nexa gets that first kill with the unexpected angle, then he gets back to a safer spot, finds another 1v1 fight, and he even puts his molly out to the site to buy even more time, gets set up with that nade for the kill. Beautiful stuff from Nexa, and it is Gambit who have not got too much money for this buy. Only one rifle available, and even that's just a Galil.
And deep nade. Down into Ivy. A slight moment to take a breath here. It's been a high-octane game, but your moment has passed. We're back into it again as Jax with the opening kill on Nafny. A little spam under the floor of Pop Dog. A good start into the round here for G2, and it's all about keeping it clean. Like you said, Hawker, this game, yes, it was 5-0, but G2 were always on the edge, just about one round away, and they could be competing in this first half. And if they win this follow-up with limiting the casualties, they could be right back into contention in these first couple of rounds of the first half.
Axe out, searching, but Hunter's waiting for it. Spray to the body successful. That was a dink onto Jax, down to 10 health. I think that might have been from the Deagle. Unfortunate not to get that kill, but nonetheless, Gambit will look for more. Hobbit finds that favorable fight.
And Hunter's torn out, but Inter's following up with the HE credit, and now it gets messy for G2. They're down into a 3v3. And it's certainly winnable here for Gambit. We know they can pull these kind of rounds off. So for G2 with 20 seconds left, it's all about making sure that you patch up the hold. But Shiro so down quick on the Deagle. Nico getting a double kill though, and that's the bomb down. And now it becomes Inter's in a 1 versus 2 clutch. Gonna try and just land the shots and won't happen for him. Good stuff from Nico, recovering what was nearly a scary round.
No saved AWP at the end there. Bit of a shame, but G2 have got some money built up now. And more importantly, they have limited Gambit's economy. This was that shot from Nico on the site, lining up a couple of good kills. Really helped his team convert that round after it looked somewhat sketchy for a split second. And now Gambit will be tested somewhat early into this one. It is a single flashbang in this round and the good old-fashioned Train B rush to try and get the bomb plant.
Nexa has a smoke at the ready. Try and slow them down, but they're just going upper. They don't care. You throw smoke on the lower ramp, they're just going to come out upper and try and challenge down the rifles. There's so many players just running through to the B site, and Nexa's overwhelmed. Finally, a little bit of utility from support of Amanek will come through. And the bomb has not been able to go down, so it's all about just trying to get in behind him. And Nafny tries to be sneaky, but Nico catches him, and Shiro falls as well. In the end, it looks a little bit chaotic, but G2 had it under control. And it's 5-3. As Gambit, they were up 5-0, but G2 seeming to be doing a little bit more damage control, and they're right back into things, Hawker.
And the other nice thing for Gambit here is you just kind of test what that rotation is going to look like towards the B site. And then maybe in a future gun round, if you think the rotate is too slow, you could try and exploit that. But in that round, the rotate was clearly fast enough. They arrived quickly with a molly onto the site just to deny the bomb plant. You almost wish you'd just bought one smoke there to get the bomb down safely, but here goes Nafany. Flashes out over T-Con, and a 1-for-1 trade early, but Amanex going into the smoke. Gotta be careful.
Yeah, he's AWPing here as well. It gets very interesting to see if this is going to work out for him. Hobbit's right above him right now. The smoke, he lands on his head. Amanek misses the shot, and Hobbit comes in with a kill. Oh, that is risky from Amanek, and it has not paid off. And now Gambit, they've got a free opening into the B site.
Hobbit's just Goomba stomping his way onto the B site. Great start.
Russia love that one.
And now they get the bomb down, and there's not that much utility for G2 this time. The molly's not going to arrive in time. They need an early kill, and they need it now.
Oh, wow, Shiro deep down into the site finds Jax, but he's still got to deal with more coming towards him. Gambit, they had the man advantage, and Shiro is following it up. He's not too far off landing the shot there on Hunter, but it's Hobbit who has found that secondary op of Amanek that was lying up there to finish out the round, switches out to the rifle. And 6-3, and I have to say, you know, if you're playing that solo up on the B side there, you do not want to be committed that hard to upper. There's no fallback, there's no rifle support. Even if there are one player there and you get a kill, if there's a follow-up rifle hawker, you're still just one and done, right? It's too much of a risk, I think, for Amanek to be up there.
That 1-2 punch for Gambit is out in full force off the back of that early kill. Shiro and Hobbit follow up in the post plant after Hobbit got them into that position to begin with. 2 players on B this time, and some flashes into Brown Halls for Nexa to try and fight. Ooh. Hobbit not ready, but Nexa not able to get the kill, and Hobbit turns it round.
Now Hobbit able to make the most out of that situation and gives Gambit the opening kill. Now they're up a player. Now they can dictate the pace of the round. They've got players showing some presence towards Ivy, that being Axel. They're just holding for some aggressive plays from G2, something to come their way. Maybe G2 will present them with another opportunity for a follow-up kill. Shiro has been very strong so far, 12-7. It's funny that Nafany's only got that 1 kill, and it was from that extremely quick play out T-Con for the 1-for-1 trade. So Nafany has been a little slow to start on that front. The rest of his team delivering, and now Jack's going up the ladder. Itchy down. Jack's going to be netted from the backside, down to 54. Now the play out Ivy from Axel needs to deliver, and it's not happened. Amanek and Hunter finding the important kills, and now the walk into B must come.
Wow. Amanek loves this close quarters AWPing apparently, sitting behind the smoke. This time the no-scope lands, but Shiro is going up close himself. It's basically a shotgun battle, but Amanek scopes in, spots him on the edge of the smoke, and this time Amanek's close quarters AWPing pays off.
If Amanek's going to play the AWP like that, we're going to get 2 things, Hawker. We're going to get some insane clips, and we're going to get some crazy mistakes, right? It's a one and done in a lot of situations, but it's definitely exciting to see sitting underneath the ramp with the no-scope enters. It's not going to be expected that an AWP in that position. Shiro couldn't quickly trade him because he had the AWP as well, right? But if he has a rifle, you can maybe try and swing out quickly there. But Shiro had the AWP, so he was stuck in behind the smoke. But I'll be interested to see if that playstyle continues for Amanek.
Wow, in this round, you wouldn't expect it to. You would assume G2 would have figured out that they're up against the pistols, or at least a weaker buy in this one. Hobbit having a little look, but decides against going for the fight. Nafany has been able to get into Pop Dog. The problem here for Gambit is they've invested into these upgraded pistols, but they don't have any nades to close the distance. So running out onto A is going to be really hard.
Oh, Nico got caught transitioning position by the P250 of Nafany, who's now doubled his kill count. And Jax just sitting back, using the range of the AK up against these pistols, making it look easy for the second as well, but finally overrun. Hunter didn't quite have the angle of the green train swing, and Inters is able to lock Jax out, but he's now the last remaining player, and he's just biding his time. His time is limited on this round, and Hunter makes sure that it's not long-lived. 5-6, again, exactly what we said, Hawker, right? 5-0 up for Gambit on the T side. G2 always felt like they were in it. It just takes 1 or 2 rounds and you're back in contention. And they're 1 round away from tying things up, but it might be easier said than done. Gambit have a bye here.
That they do. And they don't need too many more rounds to make this a good half on the T side of Train. They are one of the teams that fit into the standard model of this map, where they have a better win rate on their CT side. So if they get a couple more, then they should be pretty happy with the outcome on this T half, all in all. Early nades this time from G2 deny the aggression, but Gambit have a couple of players at the ready.
Nafni, he'll try and go, but all these early duels are going in favor of G2. Inters finally gets one for Gambit, but it's just a molly kill and nothing that'll really affect the outcome of the round. Shiro tries his best to climb the ladder, but he will walk out of it with just the one pick. 6-6, we're evened up on the scoreboard, and that's a buy round for Gambit that was dispelled very quickly for G2.
Just some good, solid utility from G2 at the start of the round, as you would expect. Helps slow down the rush, helps make sure they can get into slightly better positions, and they can start to figure out exactly how they're going to line up those crossfires onto T-Con. And having those advanced positions means you can start to get kills as Gambit are pushing out. And that's exactly what you want to do. Keep them in that tight choke point, and it becomes so much harder to run out onto the A site. It's Gambit back down to pistols, and back down the pop dog for Nafity. Not successful this time, though.
Yeah, he's had a lot of rounds where he's just been locked out of it. Same for Axel. There's a few missing players right now on this T side for Gambit, but other players like Shiro and Hobbit, the trained specialists, have been leading the way. And Jax trying to spray through the smoke. Hobbit is still there on the ladder, and Jax thinks better of sticking around as he'll throw the HE in. Maybe that'll do some damage, but this time it might just work perfectly for Hobbit, and it has. He's picked up the AK as well. And now we've got a 4v4 with Gambit on an upgraded rifle, at least on one player. Amanek throws the Molotov. Now we'll separate off Axel and Hobbit. Doesn't do any damage, though. It doesn't connect onto them.
AK gets tossed to Axile, as he has the Kevlar to work with. Axile will give his pistol to another teammate as Gambit start to group up around this B bomb site. They have got a couple of smokes to try and make this play work, but G2 are ahead of them. They've got 2 CTs ready and waiting on the site.
Well, Nexa, I like that he's trying to play closer to the smoke. He's giving himself a good angle to fight onto default. He could deny the safe passage of the bomb plant. He's done that well. Didn't quite get to second and finally does. Axel not connecting anything through the smoke. Nexa turns around and finds the 3K. Good round from Nexa there coming in. And G2 will get themselves the 7th round on the board. Nexa's had a couple of rounds in towards the B site there, where he's handled pressure from the weaker weapons pretty well.
That's always so nice to have in some of these rounds, because Gambit are one of those teams who are willing to go for those straight-up B plays at times. And Nexa has showed an excellent ability to lock it down, drawing all the attention away from the last player so that Hunter can catch an unsuspecting Inters. G2 back into the lead, looking a little bit better now here on Train. Mirage was not as close as they would have wanted. Train is starting to heat up, though.
And honestly, it's looking better for G2, right? It feels like G2 are in far more comfortable position. Obviously, T-side Train is one of the most difficult halves to play with in Counter-Strike. Now, Gambit were definitely comfortable and happy picking up those first 5 initially. And getting a little one on top of that will obviously put them in a pretty good spot on the scoreboard. But of course, you do want to end the half or close the half out with some momentum, right? You don't want to just get all those rounds early on. You want some momentum towards the end. So Gambit would certainly love an extra round or 2. Just one would be probably enough to make them feel a bit better. And that play through the Ivy smoke not really worked out for G2. Axel grabs it easily.
It's really hard to pop those flashes on the close angle, because you want to throw the flash slightly further in case the player is playing further back. See Axel able to dodge those flashes so quickly, helps him get that early headshot. The time is running low here. Gambit running down the clock for the first time in a while, really making the most of that time. But Nico is the only defender on the A site, and I don't know how the hell he's going to hold this.
He's got to play off of his positions very well right now. Gambit going to be pushing him on all fronts. Nico has to get lucky with some timing, has to be able to land every shot, and he's not even given a single chance. Looking at Ivy as the play came through. Pop Dog and Hobbit stopping the rotation down the ladder. He gets one. Jax gets away, and there's time to get the bomb plant in. Gambit play it slow, but it's effective in the final few moments. And Amanek starts to back away, realizing that this round has to be conceded, but Nafni might just be the thorn in their side. He might just try and eliminate every single weapon. Amanek obviously has some cash, but just drawing him out of the round is perfect. And the second kill from Nafany is good as well. We head into the last round of the half, just looking to eliminate everybody, get those stats on the board. And the last round of the first half comes up, and it's anybody's game to see which team is going to go into the second half with the one-round lead.
Nice to get some of the other Gambit players involved too. Axel gets a kill in this round. He'd been having a much quieter performance after a fantastic showing on Mirage. And then Nafany closes it out with 2 more kills at the end there to double his kill count ahead of the last round of the first half. Pretty much a full buy for both teams. Just a couple of missing weapons on G2. That one FAMAS in there, but they have the utility to stop the early A play. And they've already made sure to use that up.
Once Shiro is smoked off at Ivy, he's going to go back to spawn once he can and look for a different place to go and find a pick here. Let's draw at this time. Gambit have shown in the previous round they're willing to play some of these slower stances. At the start of the half, they did have a lot of quick plays coming in, Hawker.
They've definitely switched it up as the half has gone on. I think those fast plays stopped working at one point, and Gambit decided to throw some of these slower rounds in there. It also helps that G2 are using a lot of these good nades early. Another one into T-Con, really trying to deny that control. I think eventually Inters will move into position. 50 seconds left on the clock. Little action at the start of this round. G2 are left playing the guessing game right now.
Amanek, I think he spotted the hat of a player right there at upper in the brown holes, but they're going to start walking away. And Gambit, that information is not very useful for G2, that they have spotted the player upper. Instead, Gambit are going to be going for the drop down. Jax, he throws the smoke down, just saving that utility for the final few seconds, has thrown a bit of a spanner into the works for Gambit. There's now 20 seconds left. Nico's got into the smoke at T-Con. They saved the utility for this exact moment, and as it fades away, it's Nico that gets dropped by Inters. And now the play out into the A site. Hunter waiting for his kills with the M4A1S, but he's caught in the backside by Nafany, and Jax gets dropped on. Time is of the essence. Nexa dropping down on the side, a second kill for him, and he's done it. He's trying to deny the plant, and it's just not come in time. It's 8-7 at the half. It's as close as you can get it, and it's time for a short break. We'll return for the second half.
One is people in the smoke.
Time.
He's not.
No!
Nice.
Let's go. Very good, guys. Good comeback, boys.
It was indeed a good comeback from G2 after going down 5-0 in the first half. They come back to lead the way 8-7. It was a chaotic last round, but I'm looking forward to seeing if it continues. The chaos is incredibly fun to watch. The 1x bet odds at the top of your screen as we hop into the pistol round. Alex, this is the second half underway.
And it should be a slow one, considering G2 have left the bomb in spawn. I certainly hope they don't go rushing into a site without the bomb. That would be silly. Hobbit getting aggressive on B, looking for those early fights. He does good damage. Doesn't quite get the kill he would have wanted, but getting away with some information and with his life is definitely a plus. That's going to mean Shiro can stay and help him out on B if necessary, but G2 are just now going back to get that bomb.
Still plenty of time, of course. Or G2 on this pistol. Amanek throwing his smoke out upper. He is the only player over at B, and not for long. He is picked off by Hobbit. Now the play from G2. They're kind of forced to go in for the A play now, and they're going to try and push through Ivy, but Nafny with the cleanest headshot you like to see. Just taking Nexa and Nico out of the pistol. They've got no chance in this one. Gambit finding every fight, finding every kill, and G2, they only manage one in the pistol.
That's a frustrating pistol for G2 because it just feels like they didn't even get a chance to deploy their strategy, right? Amanek was the man who bought the nades to try and fake B. He threw out the smoke, but didn't even get the chance to throw the molly, which he wanted to. He doesn't get the chance to fake the B site, and then G2 have to desperately try and run into A without having any nades. Unfortunately, that was always going to be a hard run thing. Gambit are going to be very happy with that, though. Just cutting off that lurking player on B. Good shots landed across the site. And this time, we don't get the second round forced by Dinko. Literally no investment in this one for G2.
Yeah, no bomb plan, of course, and don't want to be going for that, so they decide they want some extra money. So to save into this one, just play the full Glock round out. They're going to take their time. Talk about what you want to do heading into the gun rounds. Be interested to see what sort of round comes up for G2 in the next round. I would love to try and get a bomb plant here, but I just see it not happening right now with Axel's position. He's got a good position to spot that early info that they're coming out into the site. So once he calls the early info, the rest of the squad can get ready. Axel taking one away, second onto Nico, and Axel's just farming everybody right now. Good eco round for Gambit, or anti-eco for them. It's 9 rounds on the board. Not a single chance there for G2 to even get a pick, really. There was just a really solid spot from Axel.
No AWP available for either team ahead of the first gun round. G2 should have some limitations on their utility too. So they don't get any kills in this round. They don't get the extra money they would have wanted. But they have enough nades where I wouldn't mind seeing them run something like a fast A play. They've got plenty of flashes. They could just throw the smokes in early, but they think they have enough nades to play a slow round across the board. So that's exactly what they'll do, spreading out and just seeing if there's any CT aggression early.
T-con control for Gambit with that smoke. Jack's gonna try and get it back. He went to throw a Molotov, but because of the smoke already in T-con, it caused a bit of an issue for it. That utility proves to be ineffective.
Looks like that might be what G2 wait for here. They know that Gambit probably have some SMGs, so waiting out some of that early aggression. Fortunately, unable to spot that man properly in T-con, and now Gambit have actually backed away from it. So this is nice from Gambit. It's going to force G2 to likely use some nades to retake T-con control. That just gives you that early bit of advanced warning that there might be an A play coming.
45 seconds left right now for G2. And Axel just in behind the E-box, flashes out from Hunter into the B side. It's a deep smoke, and luckily for Gambit right now, they're playing in front of those smokes, so they get the info that no one's actually pushing in lower with it. So G2 are coming into the A side via T-con. They've got an Ivy prone to the approach as well, and their Pop Dog player just got dropped by the MP9 of Nafny, and Gambit trying to figure out where they're coming from. They finally get their answers, and Nafny's having a good round here. He's found the initial kills, but G2, they've shown up, they've answered back, and now does Shiro just left alone. A 1v3 with a FAMAS in 7 seconds. Shiro's gonna try and get in behind, finds Nexa, could deny the plant, 4 seconds. He couldn't quite get the final shots off. And now Shiro tries to cross into the open with the flash. If he committed to the spray there, Alex, I don't even know what world I'm living in. But G2, they tie up the scoreline. It's 9-9 apiece. What a chaotic round that was, Hawker.
So close for Shiro at the end there, man. So close. But Gambit had a pretty curious setup in this round. They were fully focused on this side of the site, on keeping Pop Dog control, bomb site control, and then sort of connector control. They really didn't have those eyes on Ivy. And that's what makes the difference in this round. G2 get a couple of players out through Ivy. They're able to start wrapping the A site. And I'm sure Hunter is looking a little happier than that now. It's back to 9-9. And it is a buy back from Gambit, this time with the AWP for Shiro.
AWP on the CT side, that is what we've all come here to see. Shiro wielding the weapon. And G2, it's a Galil in the hands of Nexa. He's the only player without an AK in play, and he was fantastic. A pivotal part to their success within that first half, the amount of inner holds that he had. And obviously in the last round as well, just stepping up in some chaotic rounds. We'll see if he can continue his performance from the defensive side now into the T side. Shiro going for an aggressive stance up at E-Box. There is 2 players currently in Pop Dog. Shiro's position will need the rifle support of Axel to help him out when things get a little bit tough, when things get hairy. And while Shiro, the player, has already crossed out, Axel's out of there. That's his rifle support down, and that's Shiro down as well. His bodyguard out of play. And G2 now looking for the bomb plant, but it's all the way back near spawn, Hawker.
Amanex having to be that player right now saying, guys, why didn't you bring the bomb? Come on, team.
Nafny's pushing. Nafny is pushing through the halls. I don't think he's going to get there on time, but he will hear the footsteps, surely. Amanex taking his time and now running right below him. He will hear that player in T-Con. Nafny didn't get there in time to spot the bomb out, so the bomb will get over to the site. You're absolutely right, Hawker. You know, Nafny had to be that player. When you were sitting in a matchmaking, you've realized that you've got onto the site. You're like, come on, plant the bomb, and then you just take a little look at the minimap. And it's in spawn. It does happen to the best of us. It even happens to the best teams. And what? Inters finds Nico. It looks like Gambit have realized this one is probably just a done deal, really, at this point.
I mean, at least for G2, it's easier when you forget the bomb on T side than on CT side, right?
Yeah, I mean, that is very true. The historical context is brilliant. I mean, G2 have, I mean, they're a great organization. They love the meme, so they've continued that one. It's been great. That was just a wild moment, wasn't it? This time, they don't lose the round. They win it, Hawker. And that puts them in a very comfortable position. Good reference game, Hawker. I like that one.
Gotta get it in there. Yeah, this is looking good for G2, man. They've got that AWP now. That is going to go over into the hands of Nico. Gambit's economy is starting to become a question mark, and this is always the scary thing when you pick Train and your economy gets into that state where you're not able to get those gun rounds, you're not able to get those early nades to slow down any early pushes. You start to have some problems, and you can start to see Gambit realizing that. They take their first tactical timeout ahead of this next round.
Yeah, I mean, there was no real damage output from Axel up on top of the train there. Shiro had committed to E-Box. And when you get no output from either of those players, right? When Shiro doesn't find anything on the open, Axel is not able to find a single pick. There's definitely something wrong there for them. And taking a little pause, maybe to sit back and figure out a different way to approach it. Maybe what went wrong for them. But G2, it's good to see them coming into this one. And they're lively on their opponent's map pick here on Trent. After losing 16-8 on their own map pick, it's a great sign that they're able to come back mentally and compete here in the best of 3.
When was the last time you saw a UMP dig, though? I don't see those often these days.
Yeah, especially not in professional matches.
No.
It's ridiculous to see them in play, but we'll see what Axel gets done with it.
It has got that high armor pen.
Yeah, flash up here for Nafny. They're going to run with the MP9. That's the bomb caught. Luckily, Nico turns around and hits the no-scope.
Nafny might realize that G2 were thinking of the B-lean, but they're just going to go for it either way, and Hobbit is the man trying to be elusive on the site.
Oh, they haven't checked him, they haven't cleared him. And Hobbit just wondering what's going on, when are they going to fight him? And finally they do. Amanek looks his way. He's looking to take the ramp fight, but Jax had a window of opportunity where Hobbit was not looking at his position, and Axel with that UMP doesn't get to do anything with it. Falls to the hands of Nexa, holding for the ladder walk-up. And now G2, they take the B side. There's still 2 players in play, or at least there were 2 players in play, no longer. As Inters is now the only remaining Gambit player, and he's going to run away. The rest of his teammates have been picked out of the round, and G2 up to 11-9. And honestly, Gambit have not really competed blow for blow just yet on the CT side. G2 are showing up very well here.
Yeah, it was a big call for Gambit ahead of this round. Do we want to invest? We don't have a massive losing bonus. We had a couple of saved guns. Gambit decide they want to take that risk. They do want to go ahead and buy up into this round. That puts a lot of pressure on this very round. And now that it doesn't work for them, they go 11-9 down without the economy on their side. Could have a couple of issues here. I thought for a second we were going to see Hobbit do magical work from another one of his hidey holes. He can be very good in those positions. Exactly. But not this time.
No, not this time. I mean, he did have that opportunity. I think he was just expecting the ramp players to start fighting him a little quicker, but you know, he didn't think that Shiro was still going to be back ramp. Thought he would maybe be able to catch them as they run onto default, but he took their time, and he did have a window of opportunity for Jax to peek onto him. So 11-9 up now. G2, it is a rather scrappy buy here for Gambit. They've obviously got that one AK, a couple of P250s. We're not expecting too much from the CIS squad in this one. It should be 12 rounds for G2. And Nico, good position to hold on for that Ivy peak. Nafny just running out to his death.
Nade to the close corner. Will not connect. No one there for G2. They've taken some territory in T-Con and they want to keep it. Hobbit up close, jumped on with the MAC-10 of Amanek. A couple of early kills already, but Intez with the AK tries to peek up over the top and instantly gets denied.
You know, Amanek, I love him, watching him on the SMGs, right? He's one of the most fun players to watch when he's just running around wild on the MAC-10 or the MP9. He just does ridiculous things with them. He's locked out this time, and Axel is now in a 1v3 clutch with the P250. Nico, that's too much off the top right there. Not a happy man with his haircut there, Axel, and 4 rounds away from victory on G2. And Gambit finally getting that buy back, Hawker. They've got the AWP in Shiro's hands again. We haven't got to see it step up yet on the CT side. Now we've got to see it deliver.
Now this is the time for it, because he won't have many more opportunities if they lose this round. There was Intez moving on top of the bomb train and getting that one kill. Oh, sorry, the blue train, I should say. They both start with B, Dinko. Got them confused.
I mean, I think that's a decent excuse, Alex, but when you look at the train, I mean, they are pretty easy to call them out. I do laugh when I play with some people and they'll just scream, he's train. And which train? Well, the map is literally called train at this point, Hawker, so I mean, I will forgive you for messing up one of the call-outs. There are plenty of trains around.
A lot of trains.
Right now, we've got to see Gambit step up, and that is really what we're looking to see here, Hawker. Do you expect him to go with a similar setup that they did previous?
I think so. I think now that you've got the gun round available, probably just leave Hobbit solo B anchor early, get those 4 players on A early, because there is a chance G2 just switch up the pace now that they know you're on the gun round. That is what Gambit do. 4 players are leaning towards A early. Nico was holding the line there. There was a peek about to come his way, but he didn't hold it long enough. Nafny pushed into Pop Dog. Can be a position that can go very right or very wrong for you, but with Axile also being aggressive on T-Con, this is a lot of early ground game by Gambit.
Oh, Jax, he's going to clear the close corner. I don't know how he hasn't found that kill. Axel finding the opening for Gambit somehow. It's a miracle that he's got out of that one alive, to be honest. Jax, I thought he had him dead to rights, but not to be. And now Nafny, good flash out. Oh, Amanek cannot get the spray, but continues to spray and gets the kill on Nafny eventually. Great spray control, great composure under pressure. And now Axel, he's repositioned upper and he's found the bomb. He's looking for Amanek as well, and he's low. He's just 1 bullet away from death, but Axel, what a round from him. What damage output he can do. And now Shiro and Inter is trying to win out the 2v2 to put Gambit on double figures, but it has to be Shiro. They call him the Immortal King here at DreamHack Masters. We'll see if he can clutch it out in the 1 versus 2 clutch. 35 seconds still in play. Bomb not down. That does give time for Shiro to reposition. And it does go into the heads of G2 of where could Shiro be. He confirms that it's not B, or at least should do eventually. He realizes now, and maybe with the lack of kit, lack of utility, and lack of funds, Alex, he's not going to attempt it. He's going to save into the next one. And we're looking the 13th round for G2.
Just scrimming out onto that A bomb site. A lot of early fights. I thought Axo was doing enough. He was doing a really good job at working with his teammates, peeking as soon as he heard his teammates' fights. He was kind of unlucky not to get that kill onto Amanek, realistically. Like, Amanek was so low. One shot would have done it, but he was able to just about use the train as cover. Amanek's even going to die with the bomb because he was that damn low. But Nico saves the AWP. Plenty of money for G2. Shiro unable to make the most of that AWP, and that means that Gambit have to take another timeout because their money is in a poor position. And that was the first fight that allowed Axel to do so much. And even after overperforming to that degree, he's not able to win his team the round.
Yeah, it's unbelievable how Axel got away on the low HP repositions and does so much, but I look forward to seeing if that can continue. At least they need to get the round wins at this point, Hawkers. It's not about coming close anymore for Gambit. And tactical timeout again, their second one in play. G2 are 3 rounds away from forcing us to a third map on our first best of 3 here on the A stream. They will trade each other's map picks, which is quite strange to say the least. G2 seem to have warmed up into this series though.
Back 10 for Amanek.
Fantastic.
I really hope that G2 don't think this is a half buy, because this is the full investment. They know they're against that AWP at least. Let's hope that Amanek doesn't just go sprinting in, assuming it's an anti-half buy.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what approach they're going to have, but the whole team looks to be going sprinting into the B site. Shiro, he's there with the AWP, but Hobbit's been brought down as well. A fast play from G2, and they've cut right through Gambit.
I shouldn't have bothered trying to analyze anything, Dinko. Analyze that. The B rush comes in. I'm pretty sure Amanek got the kill with the MAC-10 onto Hobbit, who didn't have the helmet. That is always a factor when you are on that low economy on the CT side. If those SMGs come at you, they can be brutal, and it allows the AKs to follow up so fast because Amanek is willing to be that man just running in. You talked about it earlier, Dinko. It just feels like Amanek is home with that MAC-10. It's like he's free. He's free with nature. It's like when you let a dog out into your garden and he's just running around, having the time of his life.
Yeah, exactly, man. He's let off the leash. Go Amanek, go kill, and he just does it. It's his calling. He's doing such a good job at it now, trying to get rid of inters. He won't be able to do that. But, you know, when you lose a MAC-10, you're not really crying about it because look how much money they've got here. And also, when you look at Gambit, it's a different story. They don't have much money at all. They're looking at a pretty dire round. Because they have got some weapons in play, they will be able to scrap together some sort of potent purchase. They will have a scout here for Shiro, an M4A1S for Inters, an M4 for Axel, CZ and a Deagle. So, you know, you've got a mixture of weapons here, Alex. Will they be able to pull anything out with it? I don't really know. G2 have looked really good on this T side so far.
Eco dropping straight down.
Wow.
Nap, and he's ready for it, though. Flying around the corner. Free AWP into his hands. He gets another one. Hunter drops down, and out of nowhere, Gambit have given themselves a great chance.
I mean, while G2 have given them a great chance, I think, also there, Alex. It's a fantastic start to the round coming in for Gambit, but also presented to them in a nice little package by G2. Those drops down into Pop Dog. They've got to get the kills, and they've done that. And now they can make their buy look a little bit better. You know, the holes that they had aren't so big anymore. They've got a rifle in the hands of Nafni. And shown that he doesn't even need it. He's going to spam some more with his Deagle into the smoke. We'll see if G2 can pull off the 3v5. It's a difficult challenge now for them. Especially because, you know, they're not going up against a weak buy. You're going up against these weapons now at this point, and you're already 2 players down. Oh.
Backs on up into the flames. The nade doesn't help. Had to move backwards. This is the sort of round, though, where if Gambit win this, it does remind me of the sort of rounds Astralis used to win. The elite teams would always win these rounds when they had to dig deep on their own map pick. They've still got to convert it, though, because it's only a 4-on-3, and G2 are moving out onto A.
And Nexa climbing the blue train. 25 seconds. Timer on the play here. Nexa getting one. Only the one, though, and they haven't been able to follow up for G2. And they're just getting picked apart by Axel. Grid hold from Axel. 3 kills picked up, and Gambit finally see 10 rounds.
It's still going to be so difficult with the economy G2 have. You're facing gun round after gun round after gun round, and at any point, your money could become a problem. This was the drop from Hunter, maybe thinking he could catch the player with a smoke in his hands before he switched back to the weapon. Not the case though, and then Axar with this M4 starting to show up now on the CT side. He had a really slow start on the T half, only got single-digit kills, 4 or 5 early on. Now he's stepping up on CT, but it might be Nico's turn to step up with the AWP. He's looking for a pick. Oh, the smoke goes in, and Nico thought about it, but has a better idea.
Anthony, he was burnt out and itchied in the last round this time, looking to avoid any utility damage if possible. And G2 starting to walk up into the brown holes, congregating every one of their forces and hoping that strength in numbers on this B site can work out again. Look at the counter control here from Gambit. They've pushed into T-Con. They've got a little bit of map control over here. But it's going to be G2 trying to pinch through and explode onto this B site.
And that's what Gambit are great at. As soon as they get a bit of info, they use it to take a smart decision, to gamble the rotate ahead of time, and Shiro's in position.
And Shiro's back Oil. We'll see if he can deliver with this AWP. He's being pushed down to the left side of Oil. It's a quick play from Jax, but Hobbit's there as well. They haven't been able to get anything, and Jax doubles up. He looks for a bit more and finally shut down by Nafany. Bomb plant secured in for G2. And it's a 3v4, now 2v4 thanks to Nico shot through the smoke. And you've got a feel for Gambit right there. They hold onto the site, they made the right call, and they just don't get the kills, Hawker.
And the rotate's arriving in time. I think in terms of the macro play, in terms of the overall map, it's working fine for Gambit. This could be dangerous.
Money's not good here for Gambit. You don't want to be losing anything. And Hunter, not the best walk around the corner there. Nico, though, with his AWP, he realizes what damage they can do if they get rid of these saved weapons. They're not giving him a chance. Not yet, at least. And Axel just hiding in behind the dumpster. Hasn't peeked out. Because of that, Nico will not be able to find anything. So 15-10, heading into round 26. It could be G2 forcing us over the line to a third map here.
Well, the information was there for Gambit. The rotate was there in time, but they weren't able to stop the fast-flying Jax into the B bomb site. He runs up straight through Oil Train to take those 2 early kills. Now Gambit need to go ahead and dig deep here, and this could be a fast A play for G2 to try and end it.
The running, and Jax is the front man in the play, and Shiro with 1. Run down by the Molotov, the player in front of him. He's extremely low, but Shiro, he's got rifle support, he's got utility support, and this round's better from Gambit. They're getting all of the important early kills, and Hunter backing away. He realizes this one's a non-starter for G2, and Hobbit, he has pushed all the way through the brown holes. Hunter has to be ready. He's got his gun out, but Hobbit still wins the duel. It's Gambit staying afloat. They may be on life support, but it's a round for them. 15-11, not done yet. And because a lot of these rounds have, you've seen a couple of players go out here and there. I mean, Jax and Hunter are relatively low in cash, but the rest of the squad have got money. And over on the B stream, we'll find Fiend and Team Spirit. Fiend have actually gone and taken a map against Team Spirit, and they're up 5-0 here on Overpass.
I was telling you, man, like that game against Gambit, it was one-sided, but they looked like they were going to be a threat as an underdog team, just with the aggressive way they played. We might be headed to a third map here, though, because G2 are going for the same play again. Nafany blinded early, but he plays through the flash for the early frag.
An advantage for Gambit again. And G2, this quicker play into the A side has not been working for them. 2 rounds in a row now, they've been shut down. And Jax has been naded to oblivion. A great video game. Now 5v3 for Gambit, as they look to just hold on. They're not giving any chances away. G2 realize the only thing they got to do now, Hawk, is just sit back, hope the Gambit overextend. They haven't given any chances away, though, so G2 will have to play the difficult 3v5.
At least you've got this AWP of Nico. Could be a way in for them if he finds a long-range fight, if he finds a pick. So has been spotted. But he's not going to stay on top of the trains any longer. He just saw that Nico's AWP was there. Nexa working up through Ivy. This might be an unexpected position. He's so far forwards. Inters thinks it's clear. Nexa says no, but Inters is there for the fast refrag.
Yeah, big re-kill there from Inters. Trade frag comes in very, very quickly. And now Hunter and Nico, a 2v4 walkout from Hunter from Pop Dog closer to the site with 25 seconds left. He has a window of opportunity, but he has been spotted. And Nafny from the site brings him down with the information picked up from his teammate in the backlines. It is Nico alone with the AWP. 15 seconds left. He looks to cower away and hope to carry this AWP because he's not winning this round. Not getting anywhere near the site. You don't want to die after the time here, especially when you've only got $1,600 in the bank. So luckily, Nafny peeks out and finds him. So 15 to 12. And Gambit are on their way back into this Hawk. It's certainly a possibility for overtime. Only a couple more rounds to do it. And in this round, there's not going to be too much resistance from G2.
No, they don't have that much money. And they go for the risky call to go for that fast A play 2 rounds in a row. That is a ballsy call to make. It didn't work in the previous round. They got shut down. They thought they could adapt. They thought they could switch it up. Gambit proved that is not the case. And it looks like Gambit might have stayed on top of the economy game too. They've got 2 players ready on B for the rush.
Oh, Shiro. I'll pick Nexa. And this quick play might just be stopped by Shiro himself. He's also got Hobbit, one of the best inner players in the world. And an aid over the top connects on to Jax. And always frustrating when you get naded out of rounds. I think Jax has been the victim of a couple of those. And Shiro will find Amanek just running out, making a solo play. And it's all onto Hunter, trying his best to get onto the site, but it's not allowed. Shiro says no. And it's 15-13, round 29 coming up. 2 more rounds left of regulation. Will it be overtime, or will we see a third map coming up for G2? A tactical timeout is required for the G2 side.
From G2's perspective, you have to think to yourself here, how can we maximize our chance of winning over these 2 upcoming rounds? Because if you get that bomb plant in this one, if you prioritize the bomb plant more than anything, you should be able to get a pretty good buy into the last round too. Obviously, you have the chance of just winning it outright, but you want to leave yourself open to have a chance to win both of these, because Gambit has started to come back strong here. It was the Shiro and Hobbit show to begin with. Nafny started to show up, the rest of the squad catching up quite quickly. And ahead of round 29, it is all on the line here. G2 want to send us to a third, but Gambit are fighting back. 2 rounds in it.
And Gambit, only one of the riflers has an M4. The rest are an AK, so similar buys for both teams, you have to say, going into this one. And everything on the line for Gambit now. No more mistakes can happen. Have to win every remaining round, and G2 look to try and close it here. Shiro with the aggressive play up in the brown hole, been quite dynamic on this CT side. Trying to change up his positions. He started the half on the A site, playing at E-box, but now going for the aggressive stance upper.
Gambit feel very secure, very safe right now. They have this man in brown halls and a man in T-Con, but Shiro needs to get the timing right, and he has. Early shot connects, and he goes back with a molly to slow things down even more.
Man advantage picked up for Gambit, a comfortable scenario for them to be in. Like you said, good amount of map control for them as well. They forced Jax out of that. No T-Con control for G2, and when you feel like you're pressured at B as well, what options are really available to you? You know you've got to scrim just to get through any of these close choke points. You've got to fight to get through T-Con. Never mind thinking about the A play. This is going to be deadly for G2. It's going to be difficult. They're going to lose members. And Axel and Nafny trying to double up. Axel going through it, only getting the 1 kill. And G2, they win their battles. They win their scrimmages in towards the T-Con area. And now with a 3v3 in play, you are looking at that potential flank coming in from Shiro as well. He switched out to the AK. He's going to try and get in behind. Enters, holds off the Ivy play, but Nexa snaps some necks. And Shiro getting out from Pop Dog. It's a 1 versus 2 for Shiro. Now left on the server. Nexa and Amanek, they're low in HP, and they've got 12 seconds, and they can run it to the B site. They've got to run quickly here, though. They've got to get on the plant, and Shiro cannot get the kill. Nexa closes it out. He had big rounds on the CT side. He had huge rounds on the T side. A fantastic performance out of Nexa.